Hey there, and welcome back to another multiplayer battle. We have a 4v4. Let's go to individual faction. We have Bretonia right in the middle, being the stalwart shield of our orc friends on the right flank, which is a little bit weird. I don't know if I like that too much. But here they are. We're looking at some biggins. We've got over here a Hammer of Gork, a very effective artillery piece. And then, let's keep on moving. We've got some vampire counts, the Devils of Schwarzschafen, the Valor guys. They're pretty effective. They're very expensive. I don't like to use them only because they're like a glass cannon. They can be quite damaging, but it can easily be destroyed. Unfortunately, the Empire player is way over here. I wonder how that will go. I have no idea how that's going to play out. He's got artillery and one steam tank, but if you're not actively helping out your allies with your steam tank early on, there's really no point. He has a Hellblaster volley gun. That range is really short. That is not going to be able to do a lot. Let's go ahead and let the battle begin. And we can go over here now and look at what they have. We're looking at a Chaos player, Imperial player, a pretty generic army composition. The Wood Elves are going to be tough. They're always tough. They're very damaging. The Dwarves are here too, the Dwarfs. And they're all moving up. Then, way over here, they have Glade Riders and more Chaos units. They even have Archaon, the Ever-Chosen, a very expensive choice and very powerful, and a Chaos Sorcerer. How many? 3 groups of aspiring champions. I'm going to have to go into slow motion a few times here because I have a feeling it's going to be a lot to cover. Here comes the Chaos Warhounds. I'm not trying to direct a movie and focus on my cinematography, but I do want to do a few zoom-ins when I can. The Goblins are being torn apart by Archaon right in the very beginning. The aspiring champions are still moving along. They're going to be able to easily destroy that group. The orcs are in big trouble. The biggins are not going to be enough. They are damage dealing, but that is a lot of armor to deal with. Having your range attack to count spawn is a good idea. That could easily take them down. We've got Royal Pegasus Knights who are now charging in because Warhounds are taking damage. They're probably meant to be more of a distraction than anything else when I think about it. Over here, we have Isabella von Karstein with her devils. They're just kind of floating up there right now. I'm not sure why. There's a Brimstone gun, which has anti-large capabilities, and that's going to be able to really deal a lot of damage to them. The Empire player, again, is way back there. I don't know why, but that may cost them the game. Let's go look over here real quick. Right now. But an Orc War Boss going after Archaon. Over here, the Warhounds are moving away. The aspiring champions will at least be able to be here for a period of time to be able to do some serious damage. They're fighting Orc Boar Boy Biggins, which can be a tongue twister for me. Now the main lines are beginning to advance towards each other. Chaos Marauders are taking shots. I mean, that's what they're meant to be. And I don't mean the alcoholic kind. The Devils are going after the Brimstone guns, finally. That took a little bit too long. They could easily shoot them out of the air right now. I'm not sure why they're not doing that. They're coming over here to help out their allies quickly. They're probably wanting to leave the Empire player alone, who for whatever reason is just not advancing. I'm not sure why. I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, if I was on a 4v4, I would not want to be on my own doing nothing. Okay, the Royal Pegasus Knights are going in again, going after aspiring champions, charging in at them. Let's go look at what they have real quick. Anti-large, but not anti-infantry. That won't be as effective because of it. But that Chaos Sorcerer is now leaving the map. More knights are going after them. That would be 48 total that he has currently. Now, here's where it gets really messy. The Empire player just wanted to form up. The Vampire Counts are moving up to. They have a Black Coach and a White King. Not really an interesting army composition. It's going to be a tough one to dictate how they will perform. I feel like the Empire player definitely has a huge advantage. That Wind of Death did a lot of damage, though. Did they amplify how much damage it does? I assume they did, because, I mean, look at how much it just did in terms of a raw damage output. 66 kills, and the battle hasn't even begun yet. And because we're dealing with only hundreds of units for each army, that's pretty tough. Over here, the Marauders are moving back. They didn't need to advance towards the Bretonians immediately. Their placement may cost them a bit. They're being very aggressive. Over here, we have a bunched up group of Warriors of Chaos units who are fighting Spearmen at Arms, who are very cheap. I'm going to keep on watching the map real quick. Over here, Biggins are still fighting the aspiring champions. Surprisingly, they're doing alright. But having the Bretonians help out is probably a huge part of that. Chaos Spawn are dying. They only have a little bit of health left. Over here, the Devils are still going after a few targets. They're trying to move away right now. They've got an Invocation of Nehek to heal them up. Has it been upgraded? It is not. Alright, let's go look at the battle over here now. Slayers are not flanking. And they should be. They should be going after any large unit. Zombies are a waste of time to fight. The Black Coach is not really able to move. They have a Grom Brindle, who has used a flash bomb, which is very effective. That can counter anyone pretty much. It's a gigantic mob. They're a little bit too grouped up, which is potentially going to cost them. We have a lot of players who do not know a lot about positioning, it looks like. They're doing fine, though. There's a lot going on right now. That might actually mean the Empire player might come in to save the day, even though he's really far away, because they haven't been able to touch him at all. All right, they forgot about those boars over here. Go look at what's happening right now. I need to go back into slow motion, and I do apologize for that, but it has to be done because there is a lot going on. Archeon, how many kills do you have? 56, but he's nearly done for. He's going after an Orc War Boss. Those Royal Pegasus Knights have been great, I think, at least damaging very expensive units, if not outright taking them out. Over here, we have the Crimson Killers, who are now advancing, and they've been held in reserve, and they're fully patched up. They haven't been hit yet. That was probably a good idea as well. The Wood Elves are moving in, though, and their ranged capabilities are going to destroy everything they have, probably. I might be wrong about that. We have a few Battle Pilgrims, a few Men-at-Arms. Over here, we have more Marauders who are trying to move back in. The Empire players being regimented, just kind of moving in formation, taking their time. They're in no rush. They're on vacation or something. They're like, yeah, we'll get to it when we can. Whatever. Okay, back into the fight again. Slayers are at least damaged a little bit. We have a Thane in the middle of it all. Over here we have Grombrindal, who is a very powerful hero when he's fighting other heroes. He's not fighting another hero right now, which is a bad thing. The Brimstone Guns are back in. The Glade Guards are trying to go back in. They're actually being torn up by the Bretonnian Archers, which I knew would happen. They're not trying to target the Bretonnian Archers outright. They could focus on one group at a time and do a lot of damage, but as you can see, they're actually falling apart. So again, we have a few things that are really betraying my expectations about what would happen if I played. I know there's been patches, but I'm not always aware of like what balance things have changed up a little bit. It's because warriors are upgraded and they're fighting very cheap units who are still damaging them. That is not a good thing. We still have a bunch of group over here still fighting. Keep on looking real quick. That Hammer of Gork has killed over 100 already. That is doing a lot of damage. Let's go look around real quick. We'll make the minimap a little bit bigger. Here's Karl Franz on foot, which is a weird choice. He hasn't been actively fighting, so that can be rough. They didn't take out the Devils early on. That would have been a great call. He's kind of using them to guard Isabella, it looks like, who's flying around. He's killed only 66 since she used that spell. The range units of the Wood Elves are now gone. I thought the Wood Elf would be a much bigger player, but they're kind of waiting back here with their Wildwood Rangers and Orion. Rumbrindal uses special ability right now. Has no fear, so no one's breaking. Oh, here comes the artillery right now. That was a lot of friendly fire, though. But they are all grouped up. This could really end poorly for our enemies. Wow. That is really impressive. That's going to get them. It's been a very interesting battle. I have not been so just thrown off guard. Foreign champions. I mean, they're meant to be used in tandem with other units, and they were not used in tandem with other units. Archeon's coming back now. Very low in health, though. Pretty beat up. That Empire player is going to be the game changer, too. The Pegasus Knights are still flying around. Their positioning on the defensive side of here is a little bit better. We've got more Glade Riders. We've killed 26. I mean, not the type of unit that I would bring in. The Wood Elf player brought in potentially way too many skirmishing units. And now that the Glade Guards are done, I don't know what's going to happen to them. There's a Steam Tank. 37 kills now. The Dwarf player's pretty beat up. Grombrindal's good to go. I would probably focus on the Dwarf Warriors and their friends over here, the Halberds as well. They still have the Hammer of Gork still attacking, nearly out of ammunition. Over 200 kills now, so I mean, that was rather worthwhile. They should have gone after that immediately, I think, in any way that they could. Here comes the Rangers. I mean, look, these guys are tough. They have anti-large. They are very strong. They're going to head in and do some damage. Unless they use a lot of ranged attacks on them immediately. We have that Orc War Boss now going after some crossbows. Getting some kills in. The Halberds are moving in now. Going after more of those Pegasus Knights who have done a lot of damage. The Empire player is now moving in, fighting the Dwarf player who's charging in outright. The Slayers are charging in too. They're going after that Steam Tank. This might not end well for them. Now they're targeting them, but it's a little bit too late for that. Over here, the Orc War Boss is going to die, it looks like, which is really going to change up things for the Orc player. Orion, oh, he's holding up. He's got a lot of health, too. Alright, fellas, you are definitely showing me a great battle. I'm really happy that I got this battle here to show off to all of you. It's been fascinating. Okay, let's go over what's happening right now. Back here, we have a Hellstorm rocket battery that has over 100 kills. That's a lot. People usually bring in the Regiment of Renown variant of that. Over here, we have a Hellblaster volley gun. I've never seen that used quite effectively. If any of you have a replay of that, definitely show me. I would love to see that. There's a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but oh man, it's so easy to counter it. Here's a General of the Empire now moving in, a very cheap unit. Clearly, he had to focus on what he wanted to do. I don't really know if I would want him to move in immediately. He's using a potion of toughness right away, but look at that damage he's already taken. Then again, that Hellblaster could hit Grombrindal, which might be the goal. There's going to be some friendly fire, as you can see. Ooh! He's killing his own soldiers right now, and dealing a lot of damage to them. That Steam Tank is now moving in up here, over 50 kills now. Let's go look back here now. We've got Isabella just chasing after a few fleeing units, trying to cause more damage. The Vampire Count player is largely gone outside of Isabella, I believe. Yeah, there's not a lot left there. There's a huge clash here, and the bodies are just all over, but that wasn't enough to stop anything. The Orc Biggins are fighting 68 kills right now. We're looking at, yeah, okay. They're just kind of spread around. There's a Branch Wraith for some magic. And Orion, he's still alive, 9 kills. He's taking some damage, though. He's not very armored, so he's easy to kill if you really focus him down. Hammer of Gork is not at ammunition, so we're not too worried about that anymore. We have a battle happening over here, too. Karl Franz is fighting. Look, we've got a few battle pilgrims. That's actually pretty funny. What a great scene. Oh. Did you hit your own unit? Is that Albrecht? Ah. Albrecht de Bordeaux. One of my favorite characters. Karl is going to be done for. There's not enough health here. Battle pilgrims are great to hound him. Now we have spearmen at arms moving in. So Karl's done for. He had 83 kills. We still have a lot more of the battle to go through, it looks like. That's really impressive. Over here we have Grombrindal fighting the General of the Empire. And Athane. But they're surrounded by a lot of soldiers now. The dwarf army is largely spent. We have Slayers now trying to go after a steam tank, and they died immediately. They couldn't... Oh, wait. There's 2 left. Hold on. There's 2 left. Do they have a shot? They're like,
I'm back here. Yes. Get it. Oh.
And they're dead. And that's over. Karl's moving away now. 202 health. Oh, less than that now. They're focusing fire on him, and he is out of here. Bye, Karl. And he's down. There goes the Emperor. He's done. We still have a Chaos Sorcerer of Shadows and Isabella fighting. They're fighting a bunch of biggins. Well, sorry, no, they're fighting that one sorcerer. They're probably way out of magic. I wouldn't bring in another magic caster if you have Archeon. He's already very expensive, especially on horseback. We have Orion and a Branch Wraith moving in. The Empire army is still largely intact right now. We have the Hellblaster volley gun, 41 kills, which is not too bad. And it is currently going after Orion, so that could do a lot. We're going to have some friendly fire on the steam tank, but that might actually change it up just a little bit, that Hellblaster. If it ever hits. There we go. Okay. The Devils are still alive, 34. Isabella's still going. 89 kills total for Isabella. Our enemies are completely destroyed, it looks like. We've got some magic being utilized here. So, here was my thought, and I probably should have mentioned it early on. Is that what I thought might have gone down is that the Empire player would have came in and have been a good thing in reserve if and only if the main armies fighting the 3 allied armies were just completely able to tear up the 4 enemies they were fighting, and thankfully it looks like they were able to. The Vampire Count player was able to use the Devils and Isabella quite well. The mini units around here are done for. The Warrior Chaos player was a little bit over aggressive. He should have been a little bit more tactical with his movement. He probably could have done a better job working with his allies or going in after the fact, but that was way too many aspiring champions. I mean, they're tough, but not that tough. Got a debuff on Orion. Orion's about to go down. And he's down. Over here, Grombrindal is still fighting. 92 kills. We have a General of the Empire who's pretty beat up. We have a Thane who's trying to go after him. 41 kills for him. And the battle's now over, so I mean, we've had a very impressive battle. It's a lot of fun to cover. And if you have any battles that you want me to cover that you have as a replay, I do have instructions on how to get to your replays down below, and you can send them to me. If there's any mods or whatever that you're using for any Total War game, let me know in that email and all that. But that battle's not over. We're going to go over a few stats real quick. Yeah, they won at great cost. The Vampire Count player has had 5 units remaining, 320 for the Bretonnian player, 498 for the Orc player. We've got 531 for the Empire player, who came in last. We're going to look at it real quick. What was quite effective. The Boar Boy Biggins were not effective. Getting rid of the Hammer of Gork would have been very important. I mean, they killed over 200, which if you look at the troop numbers right now, really would have helped them out. I mean, altogether, it was a large numbered battle, just not for individual armies, but it allowed for a lot of interesting scenarios. The army over here for the Vampire Count player was just really not that fascinating. I probably would not have gotten a Black Coach. Not when you have a largely stagnant force outside of Isabella and your Devils, especially if you were going to micro them the entire time, but that might not have been intentional. Over here, we have the Bretonnian player, who, with his own Peasant Bowman, changed up the battle. Really, he did a lot of surgical strikes here that were able to change up the entire game. His Royal Pegasus Knights were able to take out a lot of enemies and damage them too. They were all over the map doing a lot. They had a lot more mobility because of that, which definitely helped them out. Not to mention they were able to get Karl Franz. Over here, let's go look at what they have. Karl did a lot of damage. The Imperial Army didn't really have anything unique to it, so it wasn't able to do a lot at all. That was a weird choice, to be honest, and they were upgraded too, which they should not have been. That was a waste of money. The Dwarf player, he fought hard. His stuff was a little bit too grouped up. I would not have opted for a gyrocopter and a brimstone gun, not with that type of army, because you wouldn't be able to properly support them. I probably would have had more ranged units if I wanted to bring in some of my flying units in case I needed to actually take out some Devils of Short Shape, and not to mention a flying leader would probably take them out. The Warriors of Chaos really did not do a lot. 2 spellcasters was not a good choice. The Aspiring Champions was not a good choice. The Warriors, of course, are very tough, so they were able to do more damage, but even some Knights would have helped probably. Anti-large Knights, just because you still would be able to take out any type of archer. You would still be able to take out the Royal Pegasus Knights whenever they charge at you. You would have anti-large abilities too, so you would have a better chance. Over here, the Glade Guard can do damage, but they were upgraded and they should not have been. He just did not have enough to help out. A Dirthy would have been much better for AoE damage. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that battle, leave a like down below. And again, let me check out your replays and all that. There's been a lot of fascinating fights. I can usually explain what I'm doing quite well, but it's a lot of fun to be able to figure out what people are trying to plan on doing in a battle. We're going to have a variety of battles in the future, whether they're 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, or 4v4, or whatever. So yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Leave a like down below. And as always, until then,